Mic check. 1, 2. How's the weather out there, yo? Magneticus, Dragonfly. I see Gustavo. Let's go. Mic check. You sounding good? How's the audio over there? Well, yeah, there's Roger. Roger that. Give me a second. We got a customer. Y'all hang out. Give a little people time to get in. I'll be right back. Whoop whoop. Had the homie come by right quick. That was quick though, right? It's been slow. Weather kicked in. We're getting rain. And that's calmed down a little bit. A little earlier I went live and it was really starting to pour then. What up, Sean Saunders? Good to see you, bro. You're getting ready for your trip, right? Have you checked the weather? Make sure you check the weather. And stay on your toes, man. People, those cruises could be weird sometimes. I got to go on a cruise, what was it? I think about 3 years ago. And it was a family thing. The whole family got together. We went to Ensenada right here off of, I think we left Long Beach. Yeah, because I seen the Queen Mary. Hadn't seen her in a long time. We're gonna have to go do a Queen Mary trip. I hear they are doing tours and stuff, but you gotta, of course, pay for it. And you have to, I think, make an appointment. Like, sign up, get your tickets ahead of time. He's leaving Sunday. Yeah, man. And I won't mention much about your trip unless you want to. You can say it in chat if you want, but you gave me the down low key 411 on your travels there. Safe travels, brother. And I'm excited for you. And I kind of dropped it. I think yesterday I mentioned a little more about your trip there. We got Philip Blair and Roger. Roger and Raymond in the house. Hell yeah. Or should I say heck yeah for some people? I gotta make sure I myself when I who else is up in there? There's Gerald. I know that logo. Lil. Salute to you for becoming a member. I see you. And then we have also a new member. I might as well shout him out while I think about it. You know, I'm pretty forgetful. And I don't even think it's that. It's just some information takes a little longer to download, right? Who uh who encounters that type of stuff when you're trying to think of something and it takes a minute? Or sometimes it's right there. It's like it's something's buffering. It's like you almost got what you want to say, but you can't. It's your service. And if I remember, I want to say it's Equator. And I want to say Equator 7. We'll see right now. See, it took a little bit, but I remember. I remember. Get goat. Ooh. Get jokes a week later. Yeah. Yep. Especially yours, Magnetic, is, just your conversations, period. Sometimes it takes me a bit to process. And I'll giggle at first, but I'm like, what the heck did he really mean? And I got to try and like decipher, read over your comments but that's good because it gets this going up here. Tick, 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 all the little mechanics in there get going. Just got to oil it up, some coconut oil, avocados. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's Equator 7. Come on. Really, I gotta focus on what I'm doing because then I'm just like, meh, meh, meh. I'll do that with the mouse too. I'll kind of go off on a trip and I think I'm like moving the mouse around. It's not a mouse, it's the pad, the arrow. Who has a mouse? Yep, Equator 7. Salute to you, my friend. Welcome to the memberships. That's the rowdy. That's the rowdy crowd right there. Sounds like a bunch of guys, which is all good. It's like the college dudes. Because we do have other audience out here. That sounds like a mix of women and young old people. All bunch of rowdy dudes, right? Right. Yeah. All right, bro should be appearing at some point here. He's had a busy morning. And yeah, I could only imagine driving around with the rain and crazy people on the road that don't know how to drive in the rain. Oof, be careful. And like previous nights, I've been trying to, I tried to go live last night, but then boom, it hit me. My sleeping patterns. Some nights I've been staying up really late. Some nights I've been going to sleep earlier and everything in between. I knocked out a little bit early. I think it was a little after midnight. Was hanging with Garrel and them. They're touching on the old world. I loved it. That was a good show, good hangout last night. Good topics. I love it. And I was putting on bold letters in the chat. What's up, Richard? You getting snow up there, bro? What's the weather like? I was trying to see if everyone would share their weather conditions. Y'all usually do. Might want to listen to the. Let's see. Might want to listen to the replay of that last night section. Hmm. Bad windshield wipers due to lack of use. Not sure what Magneticus is talking about, but I do need new windshield wipers myself. Yeah, Gerald, that was fun. I was trying to point out that one of my favorite buildings, and maybe we should, and I'm sure the old world community has done it, and it's cool that they keep flipping it and touching on the topic. You could remix that stuff however you want and keep it going. And Midwest Night Watchers did last night, so that was cool. One of my favorite buildings that I've seen shared is the old federal building in Chilaga. Who knows where Chilaga is? 33 there in Missouri. In Missouri, should I say.
33.
Yeah, tonight I guess we're rocking with Tex again, Tex and BMR, Bigfoot Michigan Rob. Yeah, we're gonna rock with the ladies, but change of plans. There was a change of dates and stuff, but hey, no problem. I'm flowing with it. And that'll be tonight at 6 p.m. I believe, over on the Blondes and Booze, I believe, channel. I got the link already. I'll be sharing that out after this. And we're gonna go just rap about what we've been rapping about out here. Come join us. And Magneticus, maybe talk to Raymond about the cookies. Raymond likes cookies. I want a cookie. It's funny, here we go. Time to remember something. There was a channel I was recently featured on. They do Bigfoot Dogman. They're a big channel. And he posted something on his channel over there on his community post, and it was Cookie Monster doing the patty walk at Bluff Creek. And I commented, I want a cookie. It's pretty funny. That was this morning, I believe, or yesterday. that was a funny post there. It was pretty cool. And dang it, I can't remember the dang channel. That one's a tough one because it's a channel I didn't really follow. I had gotten a notification that they were live, so I must have been following them, or the algorithm and threw me that video. And then, what's up, Digger Dog? Come join us, bro. He's dropping a message right now. So I got notification of this guy's channel, and so I tapped in, and they were talking Bigfoot and all that, and I think Patty's came up, something about Northern California or something like that, and I had to chime in. I was like, "Yeah, bro, I lived up that way or whatever." Dropped a little message, and he had a partner there too. He was like, "What?" and responded live on the chat, and I was like, "Yeah." Oh, I think I mentioned like, "Yeah, I just got back from up there. I had just recently got back from one of the trips." And he was like, "Whoa." He's like, "Yeah, contact me." And yeah, we made the contact, exchange information, and we did a show over on his channel. And yeah, I don't know if any of you checked that out. I usually share a lot of stuff on the Discord. And yeah, Magneticus, I got your message about the Discord. And you're talking about this link here not being active, because there was one on the channel too in like the description of the channel way at the end that I recently took off. That one was dead, but there's a bunch of links now that you could find on the channel for anyone interested. But yeah, I know for some reason, I don't know why these links here are not clickable. Maybe it's something I got to do here, because I got little options to see, pull up different things here like that. But yeah, if you can't click it, kind of sucks. But I guess maybe if someone is watching it and types that into the search engine, maybe it'll pull something up. But yeah, no, I want to definitely get all that going, all the little, what do they call it, widgets? Dorothy Dorothy needs his widgets and screen overlay. So I've been trying to figure out this other software, and oh my goodness, it seems pretty complicated. There's a lot of cool options for all these little things I want to do, but to get it going, and so I was like messing around with that last night. I'm sure most of you could probably figure it out really quick. It's just me. The way I go about doing things in my life is just I take the long route sometimes. Who takes the long route? Any of you take the long route in life? There's Val. Cheers. Ching ching. Salute. And Val, when we cheers, are you like you always use the beer emojis? Are you drinking beers or something, or non-alcoholic beers, IPAs? What you got going on? Hard kombucha, perhaps. Anyone sip on hard kombucha? It's like you're sipping on sparkly wine. You hold your pinky up as well. Cheers. Ching ching. I need my little glass glass sound effect sound. If you want to cue the video at a point, replace. Oh yeah, there you go. Cookie Monster. Raymond. Paging Raymond to the chat room. We got some cookies for you. Raymond to the office, please. Do you remember those days, Raymond? I bet Magneticus used to get called. Magneticus to the office, please. Yeah. All I read is face, fuchsia, poop, shape, face, fuchsia, poop, shape, face, fuchsia, poop, shape, face, fuchsia, poop. Val to the office. Richard detention. Ooh, she got the cookies. She got everything. Yes, Chi. She got eggs. She got cookie. Well, you gotta. Yeah, sometimes I don't. Yeah, you gotta use eggs for cookies sometimes, but I prefer not. I think those matcha cookies. Did y'all check out those matcha cookies that my niece made? Oh my goodness! I only had two. I could have had more at the Super Bowl party if I would have. If I was on point. But I did do that interview with Tech, so that kind of threw my munchies game off there. I did come back with leftovers, and someone was kind enough to wrap up two of those cookies in my food package. So always come back from mom's with food leftovers, and whoa, were they amazing! So yeah, she baked a bread also, and my niece, she's in her early 20s, I think. She might be hitting like maybe almost 30 soon. And I believe we might have a birthday today too. It's always a birthday, always a celebration in the family here. There's so many of us. It's wild. And look, there's a link for a Discord there. And tap in. I think Garrel's it. Garrel's in the Discord. Double detention, Richard. And standards. Yeah, those matcha. So we got to figure out how to get our niece to make another batch of those. Like, what do we got to do? What's the deal? How could we work something out here? Hmm. Then Pop slid through the shop yesterday, which was cool. It's always a surprise and good to see him. And he's doing all right. Uh yeah. He hung out for a bit, and yeah, we just touched base on quite a few things, caught up, and yeah, maybe we'll. I told him I'm serious. I've been asking him, and I've been telling him about doing like a trucker series. I'm like, Pops, get me any weird trucker stories. We did talk about some other stories from his hometown, which we've talked about before. That's up in the mountains of northern Mexico here, La Rumorosa. Yes, can we get
La Rumorosa.
yeah, it's a UFO ET hotspot. Our good friend Alejandro from Luces en el Cielo, Anaheim, is his YouTube. Captured these beings, these ET beings or energy beings. Videos posted on his channel. I was gonna try to share that out the last time I mentioned all this, but yeah, and they've been having these big old conferences up there. I was gonna try to make it the last time, missed the last two. And one of the last times Pops was up there, he showed me a picture. I guess it's grown a lot. It used to be like when I went there, I was young. It was just like not much there. we'd uh we'd to kind of relieve ourselves from the heat up there. The kids, they'd these water trucks would come up and they'd fill up these barrels, and we'd take a little dunk in the barrel. It get really hot up there, real hot, and then yeah, you get snow. And yeah, I know the place, and it's grown a lot. And there's actually one time where we went. There's they call it the manicomio, and it's right by where the old school was. And there I activated the camera, and it's where the old school was. And next to that, I guess it's the manicomio. This is where they're like kind of an asylum for the mentally ill and stuff like that. And yeah, Pops was telling us how the school was haunted, and we were young too when we went to go check this place out, and it was like an abandoned school. So maybe that's where I get some of the wanting to explore these types of places from too. Um, and he said, yeah, that there's voices recorded. Come on, camera, activate. There we go. That there's voices basically telling us that the place is haunted. I don't know. Camera doesn't want to budge. Watch, look at that. All right. Are you deactivated there now? Okay. There we go. There. Where's Johnny? Where's Bobby? Where's Mikey? All right. Yeah, but the way he explained it at that time is that yeah, that there's voices recorded in the walls, and I was like, what the hell? Like, I was trying to make sense of that. Like, how does that happen? Is there like some sort of recording device in the walls, or what? But now that I think about it, I don't know what is brick. Would brick? I don't remember if the school was brick or not. I mean, it's still up the school. Uh, And then the same thing, with the manicomio. I'm sure it was just as haunted as well. But yeah, I didn't experience anything that time there that I could remember. But yeah, it was cool to do that. That was a long time ago. Anyway, La Rumorosa. Yeah, La Poderosa. Yeah, and I love that being, up in the mountains up there. It's super cool. Uh, we just get to, as kids, we'd get out and run around. There's Jackie. Paging Jackie to the office, please. Don't worry, you're not in trouble. Tran- Transducers. Yeah. And you know what's something else interesting about that area there? Oh, there's bro pulling up. Oh, yeah. Paging Steve O to the office, please. 2:45. I wish I could do that like out loud here in the shop. That'd be perfect. People could walk in and I could like sit in the back in the cut, and sometimes I'm like I could be standing here, people will walk in and they're just like looking around like where is there someone here, and I'll just be like looking right at them, and then they're like, "Oh, yep, right here." Yeah, there's a lot of boulders up that way that I remember. A lot of rocks. Ooh, Steve's got Porto's Bakery. He's got Porto's, y'all. He has arrived. Anyone ever heard of Porto's Bakery? Look at that. I'm getting handed. Thank you, bro. I mean, I don't know what's in here yet. Could be you never know with this guy. Could be boom powers, bro. Gave him a fist bump there. Anyone heard of Porto's? Let's see the cameras. Here we go. Porto's Bakery. And if you're from SoCal, especially LA area, John, amigo, você adoraria isso aqui. Yeah, Porto's is very famous out here since 1960, and it's a Cuban family. You can see their portosbakery.com. Not be, this is I'm not no not affiliated or anything, but they do have good food there, and it's an amazing bakery too. And they've blown up since they've been doing their thing. You could see here the kids, they were like, as kids already baking and stuff. And they make amazing Cuban pastries, amazing Cuban food. So if you love that type of stuff, yeah, man. Oof. Let's see what he brought. Oh, yeah, there's some pastries up in here for sure. Yeah, check them out. Who knows? Maybe they might have a Porto's near you. They've opened several. There's one in Glendale, and then there's one, I think, going towards Covina. Oof. Munchies. And there's Jeff. Jeff knows. I bet Jeff knows about. Tell us about Porto's Bakery, bro. Is it fire? More fire. Yes, I am. Let's see. Today, I seen Barry Littleton over on BMR. That was interesting. Always good to see Barry on, and the way he reps his experiences and his knowledge and information. I find it interesting. Maybe one day we're getting a text message. Maybe one day that brother will want to chop it up. Let's see, 707 number. That's weird. That's a NorCal area code. 707. What's your area code? You ain't got to tell us, but if you want to rep, hey, throw it up in the chat. Like you just don't give a, you know, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Throw your neighborhood in the air if you don't care. And it's interesting, even up in the hills out here, I've talked about how y'all know LA's real territorial. Every other few blocks is a different neighborhood. And when I say neighborhood, like a gang. And so you got to be careful where you are, where you go, even if you're not affiliated. Hey, you don't want to get caught up in no pew pew crossfire. But anyway, yeah, and I'm sure a lot of other states, got their areas and all that. But even up in the hills, like Northern California, and not to say that was like anything like gang related or anything like that, but just people were yeah, we're from this hill over here, and you rep your hill, or you're from this part of the county, and people are like, oh yeah, the people that are in the coast are certain, the coast people and the hill folk. Everyone's got their little thing going on for sure. Like, is your town different from like the nearest towns over, or are they all the same? Does your town or where you live have a particular little flair that makes y'all stand out? Are y'all known for anything out there in particular? And there's Richard. Leave the Richard. 1,000 more standards. What should his standards be? There's Firewater. Oh yeah, I just seen your message earlier, Firewater. And I seen I guess Jane sent you some snow. Is that what I read? I was doing a little more practicing earlier too, doing a little more cutting and scratching, sounding a lot better. You just wait, Richard. I'm gonna make Richard listen. Oh yeah. So tonight again will be. I got to remind myself. So in about 3 hours, and I'll double check the time zones and all that. I did receive a link, so I'll be sharing that out, and we're gonna be rocking with text. And there, Jessica Jones to the office, please. Oh yeah, I bet there was a whole lot of that going on growing up. Woo! Jessica, does that sound familiar? Hey, what's up, bro? Mm-hmm. And there's Tina C. Another one. Tina C to the office, please. Oh yeah. The office gonna be packed today. It's a rainy one too. Remember that? Rainy days in the office. Oh no. Hell no. Dipping out of here somehow. And we did actually, I gotta tell bro that he's here. Hey bro, we got a couple leaks. I put a plastic over the couch, and then I put a cup over here where the big tray is. Yeah, you could see where they're at. I took a little vid for you too. Yep, a couple leaks. Luckily, it didn't leak here because that would have been cray cray. And I got a couple leaks at the crib, at the pad. So I got to watch out for that. God forbid something with a leak on any of our gear. Some of our gear, not this stuff here, but I think what was it that was pretty? I think yeah, there's a new still. Maybe the members will get to check it out first. I'll save it maybe for the members first. There's some new thermal units that we got a while back that we haven't fully tested out in the field yet. So maybe we'll test that out. And one of them is just pretty waterproof. It says like, whoa, really? Chiro sounds to the front of the classroom, please. They wouldn't use the intercom. They just came and Jersey you out of class. Oh man. Oh, Gerald, did you? Gerald, did Gerald get in trouble in school? Did y'all know each other in school? That's super cool if you did. Yep. Yeah, and right next to Yeah, you keep hanging out next to Chiro Sounds there, Jackie, and next thing you know, it's Jackie to the office. And it's cool that you're here, Jackie. We got one. Any other Oregonians in the chat? All right, bro's DJing the TV over there. Turn it up, bro. We need some extra background sounds. Yeah. He's got Lucius Aurelius Restitute Orbis channel. Anyone know that one? Speaking of Tartaria earlier, we were talking how Geralt and Chi did a touched on old world last night, the old world topic, hashtag old world. Ooh, yeah.
Tartaria.
Ooh. Yeah, it was a good one. Fun show. Oh, yeah. Did I mention? So the old Chicago, the old federal building in Chicago is one of my favorite buildings that was, I guess, around. I heard they demolished it, which was heartbreaking. It's like, why tear that down? It was amazing. Maybe one day we'll pull that up, or someone will pull it up, and if you get a chance, there's Monisha. You know Monisha. Monisha to the office. Uh-oh. It's getting full. Sheesh. All right, we got Hillbilly Herb, who just left the office and is ready to roll one up. We'll be under the bleachers, yo. 5:55, 55, 55. Let's see. That's still is that still under 420 grace time? Possibly. And Jonacide also just left the office and is ready to twist one up as well. Hey, BD, off work, snowing. Hey, all right. He's got a weather report as well, greeting us again, but small flakes not sticking. Is that strange? Are you getting some of that funky snow? Hmm. And then we still haven't called Firewater into the office, but she'll get there. Trust me. John P, also another one who just left the office. You know, these guys get in there early and they will be back for detention. That's right. Ah, look, listen to this one. Strange, my black granite isn't collecting snow like everything else. Hmm. So last night, before I fell asleep, I was like pulling different little tabs for me to share with everyone. I was on a mushroom trip. Like not literally. I was going down a whole thing. It popped up. What made me? I know mycelium. Barry spoke of the mycelium. He's been talking about the mycelium lately. And what is it? Is Oregon? Does Oregon still hold the biggest network of mycelium? Yeah, a lot of mushrooms. You know, Oregon's known for mushrooms. NorCal as well. Humboldt County is known for mushrooms. A lot of good. I've seen the most a variety of wild mushrooms down in Humboldt. Or should I say from here up? But if I'm up in Oregon, it's down. Um, yeah, and I'm fascinated by the fungi. You know, it could go both ways, man. You could either have a great dinner or you could be checking out to the next realm, bruh. Right? I mean, you got poisonous mushrooms, edible mushrooms, psychedelic. Oh yeah, mushrooms. And it's funny, our boy Donut, I've been showing his channel here lately, Donut Factory. And he's been getting into, he gets into all the occult stuff. He touched on the Super Bowl recently. And it's funny, he's been mentioning and he brings up like Rogan and several other people, and he's been mentioning that this sort of see, look at that. How about, does that turn it off now? Camera activated. And then he was mentioning something about mushroom cults and stuff like that, and these ayahuasca cults and stuff, which is pretty interesting. I found it fascinating. There is the whole thing. I've seen stuff on like even like this dark stuff. I think it might have been Vice that did a thing on people going down to like Mexico and stuff, and where they have you could do ayahuasca sessions, and then people having these bad experiences with certain people because they're not uh doing this with the proper people. And so yeah, they get into all that, and yeah, it's interesting. You know, there's that whole scene of people going to these places, Peru, you know, into the jungles and stuff, and experiencing these substances. So yeah, be careful while you're out there. And I'm not saying to not go to these places. Hey, I would like to experience it myself in those places. Hell. And don't, it's a little late to try to get your boy caught up in a mushroom coat. Like, eh. And yeah, so but it's interesting that he brings that up. So I'm keeping an eye out for that, and I could see that because they are, you know, it seems like a lot of places are decriminalizing and soon possibly legalizing psilocybin. And it's interesting also to see the varieties that are coming out these days. Out here, it's like weed strains. There's all these different varieties popping out. You got what the we could get into them anyway. So yeah, keep an eye out. Be safe out there. Safe travels to all my psychonauts. And for those that don't take journeys anymore, they've already been there, done that. Hey, pick their brains for information if you don't want to take some of these journeys yourself. Yeah. What are we talking about? Puppies. So yeah, I was going down this mushroom trip, and I was like, yeah, you know, and I'm fascinated by the mushroom, all different types. They're very weird. Some are fun, and some are tasty. And so I was like, oh yeah, the you know, we've been talking about missing people lately and all that. I think you got someone pulling up, bro. Just a heads up, all right? I don't think he heard me. I think you got someone pulling up, all right? I told him twice. And so yeah, I was like, yeah, missing people, mushroom pickers. Yeah, that's a topic in the 411 phenomenon. So I was like, oh yeah, missing mushroom pickers. I was going through some videos of my own and noticed that some of these clips I was looking at was in a place where a recent, I think it was last year, and this is Southern Oregon. And so Oregon, yeah, a lot of mushrooms up there. If you know where to look and what to look for, it's the spot. And yeah, missing mushroom picker right in the area where I was doing these videos. And I was like, whoa. So yeah, a little connection there. And I was like, all right, let's go down that rabbit, because I know I've heard of a lot of other cases of mushroom pickers in the Oregon area, Humboldt County, Mendocino, NorCal area. So I would always pay attention to those, a lot of mushroom picking in those areas. Also, another big issue to keep in mind also is the also is the, I guess there's a whole underworld of organized crime being involved in mushroom picking. Yeah, it's stuff that I've heard before, and I could see that. I guess anywhere there's money, because some of these mushrooms, are pretty valuable, right? and so I could see them trying to corner or cornering that market there. And another interesting thing is I've heard of different cultures also getting involved in camera just deactivated. So those little hand gestures there. Hmm, I'll keep my hands down here. Let's see. There you are now. Where's Johnny and Bobby? So yeah, some of these different cultures also get out there in teams and maybe are working for some of these organized groups. I don't know, but they get out there and they go picking too. And then you get your locals and stuff like that. And I believe someone, I won't mention it, but unless they do, but someone in the chat had told me about even up in their area that there was even like people get real territorial with their spots. You know, mushroom. A lot of people that mushroom pick won't tell you their locations. Um, they probably even blindfold people before taking them up there. Genocide talking mushroom gummies. It is a thing right now. And so yeah, the mushroom picking is it gets pretty serious when you get into that arena. I like to call them these all these different things, you know, arenas or circuits. The mushroom circuit, the mycelium, and you know another thing we would use. I think that's we'd use in the garden was the mycorrhiza. I think that probably does that work with the mycelium. I believe it does somehow. Ginseng, yeah, man. Same thing with the ginseng. I know we would get it up in NorCal and yeah, you know, I remember one time we run into some poachers out towards and we weren't sure what they were picking. I don't think it was mushrooms. They had these buckets out there and they didn't look like nice people. So you know they were up to something. And we were wondering what they could have been picking and we were thinking maybe ginseng. Yep. Morels are the only ones you like, huh, Roger? Yeah, I'm good at picking those, you know. And they say usually after a fire is a you know good chance that morels are gonna pop up there, and we get the light ones and the dark ones. Speaking of them, let's see if we could pull something up. Let's see, Gerald, drum roll. Gerald taught me something yesterday, and I'm giving it a shot. I did a little trial of it. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Oh no, not like that. Hmm. Where does it go? Where did it go? Where is it going? Oh oh. Let's see. Do-do-do-do. Aha. Found you. So let's see here. That's clickable. So these are going to be just a heads up, unedited. Let's see if we could open that. Oh, nope. That's not going to work. So anyway, we'll try that again. I had some videos loaded up in a folder, but I guess I'm going to have to figure out how to play that girl. I tried last night. But anyway, so the first case we'll go through. So there's these mushroom picking cases. Some of them you'll see featured on Can-Am Missing Project and other like Steve Stockton's Missing Persons Cases channel and all, you know, different types of missing persons cases. And it seems to be one of those bullet points in the 411 phenomenon, right? That mushroom pickers and berry pickers, for some strange reason, tend to go missing a lot and mysteriously. And so I get it. You know, I've gone mushroom picking. I love mushroom picking. And even not just picking, just trying to identify or just find them. And I could see how it's easy to get lost, especially if you're looking down all the time, you know. It's easy to get thrown off of where you're going. Can go, and then a lot of times mushrooms are usually, you know, a lot of them are off trail too. So you know, keep that in mind that you're going off trail too. So it's easy to get turned around. And I have experienced almost like getting lost in the woods before, and in these areas also. And yeah, it could easily happen. I could see that, but for the most part, I think I mean, I don't know. It's hard to think, so that's why a lot of people don't take certain precautions. I think when they go out into the woods, because they don't think it's going to happen to them, or they don't think it's possible for anything like that to happen to anyone else in their group or whatever. But it does happen. It happens actually quite a bit, and I've heard it happen while I was living in these areas. Um, yeah, you hear it, you know, on the different outlets that I would tap into for news and stuff like that. And every once in a while, there was one point I remember. I want to say there was one season where there was like it was back to back, and within that month or so, there was like several mushroom pickers that had gone missing. That was in California side of things. Uh, today's are like articles, I'm focusing more on Southern Oregon, and it's unfortunate that I wasn't able to share those videos, but those videos are on the channel posted. They're from years back, and they're in uh one of these particular areas, and I'll point that out when we get to that article. But yeah, I want to ask chat, what do you think is going on with these mushroom pickers when they go missing? Could it be more criminal related? You know, we mentioned those organized crime groups possibly being involved with the whole mushroom market. Is it that? Is it something more mysterious? Because I think there's something behind the whole berry thing for sure. You know, the talks of the Fae come up. So could that be something also happening with the mushrooms? You know, I tend to think so because I feel like, yeah, mushrooms is one of those things that maybe have some sort of connection to the Fae. You know, there's fairy rings. And yeah, I was told by the owner of a certain property that I lived on. We found a fairy ring on the property, and he was telling me about how a pregnant woman should never sleep inside of a fairy ring. And it made sense to me. And now that I know a little more, I wonder if that would have something to do with changelings. Like, would something happen to the baby? Would it, you know, could the fairies do something? Oh, kind of creepy. But yeah, I trip out when I see fairy rings. I found one recently last year, but it was half of one. And I looked it up, and they say, yeah, there's such thing as also half a ring, or what they call it. I think there might have been another term for it, but yeah, hillbilly there. Boom. Maybe Fae are mushroom realm entities. Yeah. Uh oh. Jackie says they found Bigfoot's stash of shrooms. Ah, that's a good one. So yeah, one case that came to mind right away, because I remember being in Oregon, always keeping an eye out for missing person cases, any strange reports of anything, you know, Bigfoot related or UFOs. And we did actually, while I was before I came down here, they were starting to get reports in Eastern Oregon of the cattle mutilations. Jackie, did you hear anything about that? Uh, it was like southern Eastern Oregon. Some ranches out there started getting these cattle mutilation incidences again. And I guess it had happened previously in some of those areas and it had stopped and then it started picking up again. But I think it was a bit too far for me to get out into that area. And so, yeah, I remembered one particular case, and it was right out of where we go mushroom picking. And it was like, whoa, here we go. You know, I was like, man, this guy's out picking mushrooms, goes missing. I was thinking right away, 411. Here's the post. Here's our mailman. Yo, yo. And I was just like, yeah, definitely, red flag for me. So, yeah, I paid attention to it. And let's see if we could check this out. And please, if someone drops some really good information, let me know to check it out later because I am bouncing between chat and trying to find some of these articles. Let's see. First of all, let's take a quick look at things outside here. Let's see if we could check out Catalina. There's a view of Catalina right now. There's the old world casino. And it looks not too bad out there. Doesn't look like a storm's really hitting the island there too hard. But you never know. And always keep an eye out for any strange flying objects. We got to go. Hopefully, we get to go back soon. I really had a blast the time we went there. Beautiful Catalina Island. Yeah. It's not that far. It wasn't, and I don't think it was pretty decently. I mean, $80 to get back and forth, I think is not bad if that really was the ticket. And here we go. Jackson County Sheriff, Oregon. Let's see. Here's a post. Gerald Severson, missing mushroom hunter, last seen in Klamath County, 56-year-old white male. Let's scroll this up a little bit. Jackie, did you hear about this case? Do you stay on top of some of these missing persons cases? Let's see if I could zoom this in a little bit for me. All right. So I mentioned this is a spot where we go, and maybe I shouldn't be saying it all that loud. Stay away from our spot here. Nah, but I'll mention it. Yeah, we've picked mushrooms in this area here before. We've actually fished this area also. There is a few, I think, a few lakes in this particular area. Yeah, you did hear. Hmm. I don't know. Oh, okay. She said, "See, Jackie, I don't think I did, and not always." Right on. Yeah, I try to stay on top of some of these more weird ones. And then so Lake of the Woods, Oregon, very beautiful place and good place to look for Bigfoot. So Jackson County Sheriff Search and Rescue (SAR) is assisting the Klamath County Sheriff Office on a missing mushroom hunter case. We were searching for Gerald Severson of Rouge, Oregon. He was last seen Thursday evening near Lake of the Woods in Klamath County. So Severson is described as a 56-year-old white male, 5'4", tall, weighing 140 pounds, with gray hair and blue eyes. Severson was staying at a cabin on the east side of Lake of the Woods and left to search for mushrooms at about 7 p.m., which is a little late. It's a little late, bro. And on Thursday, May 2nd, SAR teams have been searching since Friday, May 3rd at 1 p.m. when Severson was reported missing. And so there is a little bit of that situation there. And I don't think I've heard, that they found any updates or anything like that. So it's kind of it always trips me out. Like it's like, yeah, once they, you know, maybe they do a search effort for you and but if you're not found, then eventually it's got to come to an end. And so if anyone's up in that area and notices this man or may find something out there that's weird, might want to let the sheriffs know. But yeah, out mushroom picking. And then the last name, I don't know what the origins of that last name is. Maybe someone knows. And I always check to see if it's possibly of German descent, like Politis likes to make that also a bullet point in the 411 phenomenon. But yeah, out picking mushrooms, got lost, and then can't be found. It's a little weird. And I know those woods are deep and they're scared silly. What's up? Good to see you. Hope you're well. No worries. Just swinging on through, right? Yeah, anyone, again, no pressure to stay. We're just hanging out here. So don't feel like, oh, obligated or uh-uh. Want to chill, chill. And if not, then handle biz. So yeah, that one got me going. I'm like, all right, let's start because I know there's a few more off the top of my head. Let's start going down the rabbit hole of mushroom pickers in just Oregon. I was doing first just Southern Oregon because there's several, but then I was like, all right, well, let's just do Oregon, and then there's some that kind of mesh in, not kind of, they do. They'll mesh into the California border. So there's several cases and even recent ones that are just right at the border of California and Oregon there. Oh, that's the same one. Let's see. Oh yeah, that was a little bit, I guess, of an update there on that one. Search and rescue volunteers find clothes that may belong to missing man. And that's the same case there. Boom. Let's see. And I'm just gonna go as pretty much as much as I can in order here, just so I'm not all over the place like I usually am. And then this one, they I guess did a DNA test in this case. So I don't know. They found remains, is what I'm thinking. And DNA confirms remains as those of missing Southern Oregon mushroom hunter. And I don't think, let's see right quick. Am I trying to check to see if it's maybe the guy here? So we'll read the article. So, Grants Pass, Oregon. DNA testing has confirmed the remains found in Northern California. All right. So, this is a different case here. I mentioned some of them were right at the border of Northern California and Oregon. So, you'll get news from both sides. And it says here remains found in Northern California are those of Southwestern Oregon man who went missing 18 months ago after wandering from a campsite while hunting for mushrooms. The Del Norte County Sheriff's Office said Monday The remains were those of 59-year-old Lee Martino. And we got Lee's. I have another article on Lee here. And yeah, that was one of those cases right there, right at the border of both states. And Martino, it's interesting. It's a, I could almost, I'm almost positive that that's going to be a Portuguese last name due to the way it's spelled. And I was talking yesterday that Humboldt County, and then I don't know about the neighboring counties, but I know Humboldt has a, a Portuguese community for sure. And yeah, trippy. So let's see. Reports the remains were found in March in a rough terrain near Gasky, California. And shout out to Gasky Mike, the YouTuber. Maybe we could ask Gasky Mike about this case. See if he's maybe knows any updates or any information on this. And it says Kathleen McVarish of Cave Junction said to her brother was a carpenter. Said her brother was a carpenter by trade who loved camping and gold mining. She said he was a champion wrestler for Illinois Valley High School in 1973 and would give the shirt off his back even when he was poor. The cause of death is unknown, but relatives believe he likely died of exposure. Hmm. Yeah, very unfortunate. And yeah, he seemed like a pretty. Let's see if I could pull up the other article. There's an article I have here with a picture of him. Hmm. Well, if we get to it, I'll mention it. And he just like, yeah, he looked like a maybe a old, not older man, but you know, maybe in his 50s, early 50s maybe, and seemed like a pretty solid dude. Kind of, but you never know. You know, people have health conditions and things going on. All right, Southern Oregon also here. It's like Ashland team search for mushroom hunter missing outside of Ashland, and yeah, Ashland's not far from us up that way. And I'll go ahead. I could read this article here too. It says an extensive search efforts is underway to find an Ashland man who has been missing since Sunday. John Early, 65, was hunting mushrooms with a friend in an area off mile marker 26 mile marker 26 off Highway 66 Sunday. But the men became separated. And you know, there's that always Politis mentions that point of separation is also a key thing in the 411 phenomenon, something I keep in mind. And then, yeah, it seems to be a thing, you know, with not only happening in the woods, but in other places. You could be anywhere, but it seems like a lot of cases, the strange cases, there'll be a point of separation. Something will happen where the people will leave each other for whatever reason, and then that's when things take a turn. And then it says they have a good approximate location and there's a large team out there looking. I would imagine they're pouring through the woods. Let's see. I would imagine they're pouring through the woods out there right now. Last night they had a vehicle team out looking, said Aaron Lewis, public information officer of the Jackson County Sheriff Office. And then the rescue effort has drawn resources from bordering counties. Resources involving in the search include all terrain vehicles, canine units, and a horseback team, which can cover large areas of terrain, Lewis said. Early and his friend were on a camping trip. Early is described as 6'2", 200 pounds, with fair skin, blue eyes, and red hair. He was last seen wearing a long shirt with a hoodie, jeans, and hiking boots. He does not have a vehicle and he does not drive, according to the release. And then to report any information related to Early's disappearance, call Emergency Communications of Southern Oregon Dispatch at 541-776-7206. And let's see, I think this, I won't lie, I believe I know what case this is. And we'll see. There was a picture with that one. Could be, but there's one that we're gonna pull up that is pretty interesting. We'll see here in a second. Where am I? Just got a text message too. And so, what is it about Oregon? Is it just because it's a popular place for mushrooms that you're gonna hear a lot more of this happening? I mean, there's mushrooms all over the place, right? Is this happening everywhere else too? You guys get a lot of mushroom pickers out your way. Is there a lot of missing mushroom pickers out your way? And this is more the northern part of Oregon here. Another one, and this has all been like within the last few years. Also, some missing mushroom picker found dead in a Tillamook State Forest. All right, that one's getting funny there. Just trying to scroll down on that one. It didn't let me. Here's another one, and I think this one's also a Northern California, Southern Oregon, right at the border of those two states. And I believe I remember this one. This one might be out of Del Norte County, also, where I believe Martino also went missing. And on this case here, you could see weather is forcing a pause on the search for 71-year-old Smith River woman. So she was seems to be local. Smith River does flow through the area there in Del Norte. Smith River woman who was reported missing in a low divide road area near Signal Peak about a week ago. The Del Norte County Sheriff said Thursday. So yeah, up in Del Norte again. And Del Norte is right above Humboldt County. It's the next county above it. And yeah, that borders with Oregon. A lot of people won't know of that county, but when you mention Pelican Bay, they're like, "Oh yeah, I know where that is." At least people from Southern California. That's how you. That's a good landmark for them there. And so yeah, I could go on this one if you're interested. Check it out. And this is by Lost Coast Outpost, a good source for NorCal news. And I remember when this one happened as well. Want to say, where was I? I was living up north for sure. Let's see. No, maybe not. I think there was definitely another one from a few years back, also out of that Del Norte area. So what's going on in Del Norte? Here goes another one. Coast Guard rescues two Oregon mushroom pickers. Missing for 2 days. And rescued by the Coast Guard. So I think that they were more towards the coast. And yeah, you could find, I found mushrooms on the beach even. There's one, this tree stump that had gotten washed up, and this gnarly flush of mushrooms is coming out of it right at the beach. Super cool. And I want to say those mushrooms were probably edible. I just didn't know. It looked like those what is it? Chicken of the woods or hen of the woods or something like that. Uh-oh. You're talking mound builders. That's been coming up a whole lot. I know some of you out there have been talking about the mound builders quite a bit, and there's on Edna. I see Ben. What's up, y'all? Here's another one. Missing mushroom hunter wanders the woods in Crocs and wool socks. Sounds about right. Oregon cops say, and I think this is another Northern Oregon case here. So yeah, you gotta be careful. As innocent as it sounds, it sounds like yeah, you're just out picking mushrooms. There's no danger or harm in that. But yeah, here's another coastal one, and I think it's more in Southern Oregon. And this one, I guess it's a pilot who found maybe some another couple that were missing, a mother and daughter. Also found a lost mushroom hunter. That's out of Oregon as well. And if you're going out to pick mushrooms, I would imagine that you have some sort of sense of yeah, what you might need, maybe water, a jacket, your mushroom picking, whatever. What do you use? A knife, a brush, your bucket, maybe some rags, a towel, your basic stuff. Um, yeah, is this like more accidents? Is it people just not paying attention? I don't know. Another one here. Lost mushroom hunter spends 2 nights in cold forest until he finds a trail, cops say. It's just amazing how many of these I could pull up. And I was mentioning earlier to yeah, keep an eye out for stuff because like this one oop, that article's acting weird there. All right, well, we check this one. Oh yeah, we've seen that. So I think we went through quite a few there. Too bad I couldn't show the videos, but hey, we'll still do another mushroom night or day. Just wanted to touch on those few cases. Was gonna kind of give you an idea what the terrain looked like there through those videos, but and that was gonna be related to the first case we went through here. But yeah, what is going on in Oregon and what is going on with these mushroom pickers? And obviously we've seen it's not only Oregon. So whatever, if it is something more strange, it has no borders. I think whatever it is goes beyond Oregon. but maybe that Oregon has a lot of mushrooms. Maybe it focuses on there too. Oregon's got berries as well. Is there anything else out there that you know of where people are picking like the mushrooms and berries that people have gone missing doing? Yeah, let me know. Drop a comment in the chat or in the comments, and we could chop that up. So yeah, I don't know. Fairies, Fae, uh, Bigfoot. I heard, in the Humboldt area, I've heard of Bigfoot liking particular types of mushrooms. I don't see why not. I mean, we eat them, so it could be a food source as well. And maybe certain mushrooms having certain qualities too, like the psychedelic ones. Maybe certain things, certain beings, certain animals prize those more. Boom. Oregon woods are also notorious for UFOs, and I found out dogmen. Hello. Woo. Something to, yep. And I think the UFO thing is a big one, and it's maybe not talked about as much. I mean, I hear people mention the strange lights, but yeah, no, I think you're definitely on to something there with that. And Philip Blair here mentioning a little further north, you get, yeah, the Olympic rainforest here in Washington State, Cascades too. People have gone missing picking berries or mushrooms. So what do you think it could be, Philip? What's Philip's mind think? And Jackie, what are your thoughts? Are you going with what you mentioned here? You think it's maybe UFOs taking? I think a lot of that, the missing is UFO related, ET, and whether they take you up in a craft or not. Maybe they could take you into the ground. We've been talking lately how uh, some of us have been capturing footage of these objects, and we're talking the fast movers here coming in and out of the ground or the water. So, and of course, it's a thing. It's a topic in itself in the whole UFO ET alien world of objects being able to go in and out of the water. I've heard of even like grays being able to walk through walls and stuff like that. Is that true? I don't know, but it's something you do hear when you get into these topics. Yeah, and I've experienced the strange lights in the woods for sure. What are those things? Yeah, so just wanted to stir the pot up a little bit on the topic of missing mushroom pickers here. Mushrooms and skunk weed for sure. Ha ha ha, Michael. Yep. Michael knows about that, being an ex Humboldt County resident there. And Michael, since you're at a Humboldt, we're talking about Del Norte. We talked about some Del Norte and cases out of Southern Oregon. Have you heard of do you remember hearing of any mushroom pickers going missing when you lived up in Humboldt County or maybe neighboring counties? There is some cases out of Mendocino and bordering counties there also. Like I said, I was just doing a quick, and this was just, I just looked these up right now really quick. Last night, I did a little more thorough search, but I just popped up a few of the cases that I was going through. And I know there's more out there. So this is just kind of, once again, a little brief little dive into this little topic. And we'll see if we could find more of these mushrooms. And we'll do berries next time too. We'll do the berries. We'll find it, and if you find any more cases like this, please send them our way that are, touching on the areas we touched on today. But if not, then yeah, we'll also do other states, see if this is happening at the same rate in other states as in Oregon and Northern California and Washington. Is it maybe more of a Pacific Northwest thing? Is it happening maybe here more in Canada? Because obviously, I know off the top of my head, Canada has a lot of those types of BC uh, similar cases. So is it just a West Coast thing, or is it happening out east too? And I have heard some of the Barry cases out in different other areas and stuff like that, but seems to be concentrated out here too. Again, is it because that big old mycelium network being all up under Oregon? Uh, I don't know. Remember some fern cutters? Oh wow, look at that. Remember some fern cutters going missing, but that was years ago. Yeah, no, and we're very interested in the older cases too. Actually, the older cases are a lot harder to find. So I'm thinking you got to maybe go about the search a certain way, asking certain words or asking certain questions, and um, maybe you'll be able to pull up some of that stuff. Seems like the searches I did brought up a lot of just the recent cases that have been happening in the last maybe 4 or 5 years, which is cool because it's good to hear all the recent stuff. But yeah, it seems like the older stuff. Obviously, you got to dig a little more. Maybe have to go to like libraries and go through some of their old newspapers and stuff like that. That'd be super cool to do. Uh, yeah, anyone ever want to do something like that? Let's go to a library and do some digging and some reading. Don't forget to read. I'm getting a little better with the reading here. You know, yeah, it's one of those things. Reading, especially in school and stuff. Remember when you get picked on? Dorf, your turn to read. Be like, oh damn, used to try and hide so you didn't get picked on and go up and read. But hey, we're doing a lot more here, and it's all good. Sometimes I'll get fumbled up, but and then Aunt Edna here is also sharing a little something. We've poisoned most of the wild berries out here. Why'd you do that? Missing persons section over at our Discord. And you can see other little sections there. I'm gonna put a few more sections up there of different topics for us to continue sharing things. And I appreciate that, Philip. Thank you for tapping in there. I got to give you a follow over there too. I didn't. Glad you have access to that. And you could always post links on any of the YouTube videos, posts. And I should receive that. Let's see here. Yeah, what else is going on? Oh, so yeah, later today, Bigfoot Michigan Rob, Tex from Texas Front Porch, and your boy here, BD. We're gonna be doing a little chatting like this, and I'll probably do it here from the shop. So come join us. Thank you all for hanging out. This is fun. We'll keep going down the trip here. We're still on duty at the shop, so we'll go get active and do something here. But yeah, we'll dive back into this whole topic for sure. Again, this is just a little warm up. We'll read more of the go in more depth in some of the cases. We'll read more about them, see if we could find more information, and maybe we'll get some info from you all there. You guys enjoy the rest of the evening. We'll see you in a little bit. Peace and love, everyone, for real. All right, we out.